Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 with Hangar Control. Hangar Control has received another pretty significant update today in which we now support B events in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So we're going to be talking about how to get an aircraft using the Cessna 172 from complete dead and empty configuration to ready for taxi and takeoff. So stick around. If you are interested in any of my tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. Okay folks, so as I said today, we're going to take this Cessna 172 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and we're going to get it completely ready for takeoff using SimConnect events, B events, and AVARs if necessary, but I don't think that's going to be necessary for this one. I do want to remind everyone that if you are interested in picking up a copy of Hangar Control to try for a free 5-day trial, just head on over to overkillsimulations.com, create an account first, then download the software, and hopefully, if you love it enough, you'll consider purchasing the software. The software is being updated on a daily, sometimes weekly, sometimes hourly basis, depending on the scenario, but it's going through some massive growth spurts. And I have made numerous changes based on your feedback. I am taking every feature request to heart and every request for improvement or change to heart. And you guys have really been a huge part of shaping the software into what it is now becoming. So without any further delay, let's get started. Okay, so let the games begin. We're starting from a fresh profile here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit Start Service here. You can see there's no active profile found, so we want to do that first. Gives you a little warning there. So we're going to go to Control Bindings. We're going to hit Add. We're going to create what we want here. In this case, this is going to be my MSFS. You don't probably have to write 2020 versus 2024, but in this case, I'm going to. What is important is that you select the correct simulator type. For the supported versions right now, it is extremely critical that you select Flight Simulator for Flight Simulator and X-Plane for X-Plane. If not, you may have a communication error with the API. SimConnect knows that when the Microsoft Flight Simulator template is selected, it knows to, or excuse me, Hangar Control knows to start SimConnect. Same thing with X-Plane, it knows to start the plugin. Okay, so it's very important that if you're on X-Plane that you select the X-Plane template, and if you're using Microsoft Flight Simulator, you use the Microsoft Flight Simulator template. The other two don't matter yet, but they will. You can do custom which starts all services, but you really don't want to. That's a lot of overhead and performance loss that you really don't want to worry about. So make sure that you select the correct template. So there we go. We're going to hit save. Now we're going to add a profile, and we're just going to call this one our Cessna 172, and I believe this is the basic version. We're going to hit OK here. And now it is time to choose our devices. Okay. So going to choose our devices, we're going to use the Bravo throttle quadrant. That one was specifically requested. We're going to use my Virpil Cadet, and we're going to add one of my road air encoders and my rudder pedals. Keep in mind, you can also change the name of a device if you'd like, or reset it back to its default if you need to identify it differently. Simply highlight it, hit rename, and then if you need to reset. Make sure you hit save changes. There we go. And let's the games begin. Now, before we get started, one of the things that you guys can see, it says passengers is our aircraft here. So I'm going to, with this profile highlighted, as it's our only one, but we're going to go ahead and select bind aircraft. Oh, sorry, start service. That is required first. Once that turns gray, then hit bind aircraft, and aircraft successfully bound to the profile Cessna 172 basic. And if you ever need to remove it, you can clear it. What this does is if you have multiple profiles, is every time that Hangar Control detects this aircraft up here and the service is running, it will automatically change profiles for that particular bird. Okay, so let's go ahead now and get into the configuration. And of course, let's start with our throttles. So first, I'm going to find my throttle axis. Let me get all of these pushed down. They're all way up there. I'm not sure why. And I can already tell that Microsoft is doing its little thing. So let's go into controls here for a second. I'm going to get that off the screen for just a minute. It does not matter how many times I have told it to do this, how many times I have hit the save button. Every time I log in, I have to do this again. It drives me nuts. This is one of the things about 2024 that just absolutely drives me bat crap. is that I have to do this every single time, and I don't know why. Maybe it's me, maybe I'm missing a setting. I have no idea, but I do have to do that. And now when we move our controls, nothing should do anything. They do not. Great. All right, so let's get back in here, and let's begin our binding process. So we're going to start with our throttles, obviously. We're going to go Add, creates a new line. We're going to choose our method. We're going to use SimConnect. We're going to go to Pick, and we have a nice clean layout now. I reduced the number of SimConnect events for now, but this is going to be growing rapidly. And we also have a full PMDG catalog now supporting the 777 as well as the 737. And you can see them sorted there under the category. Oh, no, those are all under the 777. Interesting. They should not be. Anyway, we'll worry about that in a different day. Let's go ahead and keep going. SimConnect, we're going to go to throttle. And let's see here. We're looking for throttle set. So I'm going to show you guys a real easy way to do this. We can actually should be able to go to, how about that? Essentials. Just go to throttle set, give it a nice double click, use axis range, and hit save. And now when we move our throttle forward, we have action. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick one for our mixture. I'm just use the one on the far right here. This is all on the Bravo. SimConnect, pick. Clear that, go to mixture. Look at that, what we got. Makes it nice and easy, right? Use axis, select, and save. And bring that back. Perfect. So now let's start playing with some of the more fun stuff, right? So one of the really big things that we can do here that I really like about Hangar Control is the ability to do a step. So I'm going to merc my way. And this is in no particular order. You guys are welcome to do this however you'd like. I'm just trying to show as many features as I can so that way you can use these the way you wish. I'm going to use a single button that's going to control the magneto here. So I think we're going to use the autopilot master button in this particular case. So we're going to use 8, and we're going to put all of our magneto options here. You can see we have a bunch of different options. I'm going to go to Add Press Type. And I want a step. Cycle through multiple actions on each press. I've shown this in a previous video, but we're going to use that today. I'm going to come over to single press. I'm going to remove that action. You don't have to as long as you don't bind it to anything, but I just like to keep things clean. And now, here's where this starts to get fun. Where is my... Did I pick the right one? Oh, no, I did not. I thought I did. Let's add the correct one. There we go. And we'll remove the double. I'm like, that's not looking right. There we are. That's what I wanted to see. There we go. Good. So right in this window is where all the magic is going to happen for us today. So what we're going to do is we want to use the B events. So I'm going to show you guys that right now as well. So B events are a really big thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, even bigger than they were in 2020. So in order to get access to a tool that will tell you whatever it is that you want to know, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Escape, Settings. If I have to remove anything, I will, but I don't think I'm going to have to move much for you guys. We're going to bring this right here. You're going to go to Advanced Options, and yes, now I have to get Hangar Control out of the way, and we want Developer Mode on. Okay. I'll bring this back over here for a second. With developer mode on, we can go to Tools, and you're going to be looking for the Behaviors window. I just realized you guys can't see that either. And that's what I was worried about it doing. Damn it. Knock it off. There we go. You guys can tell I've been in development mode like crazy. So we want behaviors, and it's going to bring up a window that looks like this. You might get 2 windows. This is the one that's going to give you what you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back up so I can keep everything in OBS nice and clean for you. And now we're going to go back out. I'm going to move you out of my way. Hit resume. And there we go. All right, so before we get back into Hangar Control, let me show you guys how to find what you're looking for. So all you have to do is simply click on something. You don't even have to click on it. You just mouse over it. I just clicked in there to make sure I was back in the sim, but you mouse over it. So whenever you get your mouse to change like this, and you're going to hit Control and G for golf. And now you're going to get this. And what you're looking for is input events. I use primarily these. These are usable. You can use these, but this is what we're going to be after. Now, you don't have to type these in. You can actually right-click on them and hit copy to clipboard. So that's what we're going to do. Now let's get back into Hangar Control. Okay. And let's find that button that we were going to mess with. It was Master 8 to do our steps. First, I'm going to show you how to use it. Then I'm going to show you guys how to save them. So, where was I? Oh, that's right. We canceled out. So, add a step. Okay. Remove that action. Just keep it clean. There we go. There we go. All right. Now we're going to add action. SimConnect event. What you want to do. Because you can do this with a K event, you can do this with an LVAR, you can do this with a B event. And that's the reason why you have to do this first step. The first step is you do B:, that identifies it as a B event. Then you can either right click and paste, or you can do Control V for Victor for paste. But there we go. Magneto set, and we want the first step to be 0, off, okay? And then we're just going to add action again. And check this out. This is where this gets much easier. And actually, let me show you something else that's pretty cool. We're going to do this, highlight all of that, Control C. We can cancel there because we don't want anything to happen. Boom. 1. Add action. Boom. 2. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 0 being off. So there's 2. Did we get that? Yep. Add action. 3. And add action 4. And that should give us what we need. We're going to hit save all. That's important. And now if we step, there's 1, 2, 3. Give that a crank. And you want to give it a second and it will automatically go back. And then if we tap it again, this is where it gets important though, you'll go back to 0. So you might want to think about that before you use one button for all of that. You can flip your magneto off, okay? Which obviously will kill the engine. So when it's time to do those magneto tests, keep that in mind if you decide to go this route. I just figured this was a really great way to show you guys that particular feature. Okay, so now we have our B event. Now let's go find another one. What's another one that is the golden #1 of all that drives everybody crazy? It's the avionics switches. So I'm going to use 2 switches, the 2 far right switches above your mixture axis on the Bravo. Okay, so these are the on positions, 46 and 44, and 45 and 47 are off. And what are we going to do? The avionics, and just like before, Control and G, and there they are. Now this is where I'm also going to show you guys how to save an action. So again, just like before, we're going to copy to clipboard. Let me find the one I want this time. We're going to turn it on. This is going to be avionics bus 1. We're going to select. Just like before, got to tell it what kind of event it is, B:. Now, we're going to stop right here for just a second, and we're going to come to this guy right here and save. And this is where you can create your own catalog. However you want to do this, I'm just going to title this Cessna 172, and we're going to call this avionics, right? And hit save. Now, the variable event, we want 1. Before we get out of here, we're going to copy this because it makes it super fast. Okay, and now we're going to flip that switch to the off position for a second. Check out how fast this part is now. 2, and save. And ready for it, drum roll. Boom. Oops, did that not save? What did I put here? Oh, that's going to be 0, not 2. There we go. And then you can do one of 2 things. You can come back here and do another Control G if you want to find this one. Or if you guys look at it, you'll almost always find that there's going to be 2. So we can simply come back in here now. Oh, wrong switch. Okay. And we can do a paste, but we're just going to change the digits. It's really up to you. Honestly, copying it probably would be faster than this. I'm just trying to show the method that you can use. And we're going to copy this one too. And again, this is going to be Cessna 172, Control All. And I will title this one Avionics as well. And again, remember, it's 1. And we're going to copy the whole line now so we get that B event. And we're going to come back in here, grab the B event, and 0, if I remember correctly this time. And now, there we go. Flip them both. Voila. How about that, right? Next, let's do the fuel pump. That's another one that we're going to want on the B event. So we're going to come all the way over here and use 34 and 35. So there's 34. Do another Control G. Fuel pump set. We're going to copy to clipboard. And what did I say? 34 and 35. So 34, there it is. Get that B colon in there. Oops. And Control B, in case you guys don't know, we'll bring up the SimConnect picker. And now we have to put that B back in there since I copied over it. Just like that. And we're going to do another save. Cessna 172. Control Alt to highlight the whole field, or Control A. And there we go. And then here, we're going to set it once again, just like we did before, guys. Real simple. And let's come actually back in here. Let's grab the whole line again, because I did not copy that. Go to our next button. And again, 0 for off, right? So now when we flip it on and back off. Perfect. Next, let's do our lights real quick. Your lights are already pretty much defined inside the SimConnect variables, right? So if we want to, let's make this one 36. This is going to be a beacon light. You can go to Browse, and we can do beacon light set. I always like to use set. I prefer set. It's just you have more control. Whenever this window comes up for a SimConnect event, anything that says SimConnect like we just did, that's a K event, okay? And I'll show you guys that in a second again. You want to just leave it as 1 or 0. There's no magic there. And we're going to hit save. Flip it on. There we go. And then now, kick that guy back off. That's going to be 37. And I'll show you guys what I meant by the event. Right there, event type, K. Okay, and so this one we're going to want as 0. Hit OK. Oops, there it goes. It did take it. Hit OK again. Save. And voila. Or you can still do like you were doing before. So like for the landing lights, we can come over here. Same thing like we had before. Here's the B event, right? So it really just depends on how you guys want to set yours up, okay? So you would walk through the rest of that. So let's go ahead and knock these out pretty quick here. So I'm going to find my next set. It's going to be 38 and 39 for the landing lights. And so for this one, we're just going to go landing light set. Variable 1, hit OK, hit OK. I'm going to go a little bit faster now. Go to 39, browse events, landing light set, set it as 0, hit OK, save. Next one is, what do we got? Taxi lights for 40 and 41 on our buttons. So again, just come in here. Keep that essentials highlighted. That's how we're getting this so fast. I tried to get most of the things that I could think of that were the basics. And let's see here. That's going to be, there it is, and 41. Yep. Just like before. 0. And let's go ahead and kick that one down. Next one's going to be our nav lights, which is 42 and 43. Nav light set. There's the 1 automatically by default, by the way. Nav light set. We can go to 0 here. Doesn't matter which window you use as long as the variable is correct. Oop, that was my avionics switch, huh? Now, because of the way that I've done this, I've used all of my switches for the avionics switches. We're not going to be able to bind everything. Now, that's totally fine though. So you guys get the gist, right? So now we have our throttle set, we have our mixture set, we have our, oh no, we don't have our master battery and alternator, do we? Well, oh well. We'll just flip those on manually. Again, this is a demonstration of how to bind things, not necessarily everything. I'm trying to think of another one that you guys might want to find. Things that can be difficult to find and where this comes in really handy. Your fuel shutoff valve, you would want to use the set, 0 for off, 1 or 0 for closed, 1 for open. Your fuel selector is another real big one that you're going to want to use. And another one that can sometimes get people is the Colesman. Okay, and so you can either use the altimeter calibration, or let me show you one of these on the rotators. Let's come in here, let's find a button. So we're going to use 16 and 15. I'm just turning an encoder. And so on this one, we're going to go and we're going to look for Colesman. And we're just going to do increase. I'm going to show you guys something kind of cool about this too. And you can still take this value and use it to your advantage. And I'll show you guys that in a minute. But let's go to Colesman increase. Save all. And 16. Let's go right back in there. Colesman decrease. Save all. And now, when we turn that, there's that altimeter going crazy. Watch out. So now let's see what we got. Like I said, we don't have the alternator and the battery set, but the process is the same. So you can either do the B event or alternator and battery both have a K event, which means you can just go through the SimConnect picker and find that. Let's get our trim and our yoke set up, or in our case, our flight stick today. So let's bring that back up. We're going to hit that back button. And we're going to find you. And we're going to go bind, add, again, SimConnect, pick. Get rid of that guy. Ailerons. And we want aileron set axis. Hit OK. Use axis. And save. Boop, boop. It's going the wrong way. So we're going to go to bind, axis tune, invert. There we go. And we're already back going the right way. Perfect. Notice some controls it does it, some controls it doesn't care. We'll work on those as time goes on. I'll start creating individual profiles and things will be a little bit better. So now we're going to find elevator, axis elevator set. And save and check, and that also it needs to be inverted. Although, you know what, I have found on more oftentimes than not, and this is not only Microsoft Flight Simulator, that Virtual devices need to be inverted. But there we go. Now, let's get that trim going. Another big one that everyone likes. So we're going to do 27 and 29. So we're going to go 29. Now, we're going to go to Browse Events. We're going to turn the Essentials off. And I'm going to look for trim. And let's see what we have. We don't want axis. We want elevator trim. Can't remember if I have the SimVar in there or not. There. Elevator trim. Elevator trim position. There's two ways to do trim. This is probably the best one because it's the most customizable. Okay. And you can do the same thing for your aileron trim. The best way that I can describe this, guys, is any event with a K is a hardware event. And when I say hardware, you think of the hardware inside the plane itself. Okay? Through every single K event or key event, okay, we are pushing a key. We are triggering a key in the aircraft. With an A event, the keys on the back end are changing the A's. So by us selecting an A, we bypass the key and change the variables itself. Why is this an advantage? With a key event, as you guys saw with all the SimConnect events we picked, you have 1 and you have 0. But like, for example, elevator trim, you have up and you have down. That is it, okay? The sim with a K event determines how fast or how slow something moves. With a event, we can decide how fast or how slow something moves. So here we go. Okay, so now that we have an understanding of that, let's set up our button correctly. Because it dawned on me that I hit single press and that's not what I wanted. So we want 27. And this one we're going to want a hold. We want to be able to hold the button down and have it continuously trim until we tell it not to. But we're going to get to decide the rate. So we're going to click that. There we go. We're going to do Browse Events. Come back into our trim. I'm going to come back here and select AVARs for a variable. We got our trim position there. It's going to bring up our test box. We're going to increment it. Let's see here. No, wait. That's nose forward. I want to decrement it. We want decrement. And I'm going to do 0.02 is what I'm going to do here. We're going to hit save. We're going to hit save all just like that. And now watch the trim wheel. You can see it moving. And so you can play with that speed as much as you want. Now remember I was warning you earlier about, the 1. Let's go to 1. Look at that. So you want to be real careful how fast you crank that, but you can set it to whatever you want. And this is what makes it really nice is it's very easy to just come in there and customize it to your liking. So now let's go 29. And what's really cool is we can do the same thing. Well, no, let's walk through the process again. Let's do that. And this time we want to increment, and we're going to match it 0.05, I think is what we're currently at. And we'll hit save. Wow, that's a lot of zeros. Not sure why it did that. Shouldn't have, but that's okay, as long as it works. Oh no, you guys saw what I did wrong, right? We did not tell it hold. We want to hold that configuration. So now let's go back to the step. Let's remove that configuration. Okay. And let's walk through that one more time. Increment 0.05. Save and close. And now there's trim nose up. There's trim nose down. Golden. And you can do set trim. You can do all kinds of things. This is where, for example, you would use the set if you wanted to set your current trim position. So there's a lot of really neat ways that you guys can set your trim with the way you want. So there we go. Let's see here. What are we missing? We need our rudder axis, right? So let's go to our rudder pedals. Z-axis. Let's do add. SimConnect again. Pick. This time we're just going to want rudder. Essentials. Axis rudder set. Hit OK. Use axis. OK. Save. Let's get our toe brakes. That's the left toe brake. SimConnect. Pick. Brakes set. There's left brakes. Yep. And again, use axis. And we'll address any issues with them in a minute if there are. Sometimes we have to invert these. Pick. Brake right. Set. Use axis. Save. Let's see what we get. So there's a good left rudder. There's a good right rudder. Let's get that parking brake turned off. And good on the brake axis already out of the box. How about that? So there we go. So now, other than our master battery, that's the only one that we missed here. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and set our fuel tank. We can cycle that with a different button. That's good. Let's get our mixture set. Let's get our throttle set. Let's see here. We want fuel pump. There's our beacon light. There's our nav lights. Right? And what did we... There it goes. This one. Let's see if we can get a good start in the first try. Although this one's been giving me crap lately. Oh, I didn't... Idiot. And again. Good start. How about that? Oh, we don't have a parking brake set. Do you guys think they should add that to the checklist to make sure your parking brake is set? Somebody should really be thinking about that because that was dangerous. All right, let's turn those avionic buses on. Flaps. I almost forgot about flaps. We can't forget the poor flap guy. Let's go back over here. Let's go to back. Go back to our Bravo. And let's see here. It's going to be 15 and 16. So 16 is going to be flaps decrease. Let's come in here and we're just going to go flaps. And what did I say? 15. Flaps increase. Let's check them. Boop, 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 boop. We're good to go. All right, get out of the way. There we go. Thunk that guy in there. Thunk that guy in there. And let's release that parking brake. Excuse me, George. I don't know why he always stands there. It's a really dumb thing to do, you know? I mean, you're going to get hit with a wing, man. Like, who wants to get hit with a wing? Now, based on that wind sock, we're going to go with a tailwind takeoff. Why? Because I don't feel like taxing all the way down to runway 30. Like, pass. I'm good. Or is it 3-2 now? 3... Shit. It was 2-9er right. Or 2-9er, I should say. And then... we had 2-9er and 1-1. And then last year, the magnetic headings adjusted. Oop, taxi line. Are you supposed to follow this line, or are you allowed to go wherever you want? I read somewhere that there was this line that you were supposed to follow. I'm not sure about that. Probably right up there with the parking brake thing. Someone should really add one of those. Like, hey, you got to stay on this line. That way you don't hit somebody else with your airplane. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just an average Joe. All right, so coming down here, we're going to do that. Landing lights on. Strobe lights we have to flip on manually. By the way, the pitot heat, same thing. You guys can use that Control G trick to find your device. If you're looking for an LVAR, Hangar Control will detect it automatically and pull it down. You just select LVARs and it'll automatically sort it. For like example for me would be if you're binding the TBM 850. Alright folks, so let's see here. Our altimeter is way wrong, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta live on the edge. So let's go full power. Airspeed alive, looking good. You know what? I need to start trimming nose down, or we're going to be in a bad spot here in a minute. Trimming, keep trimming. We had a lot of nose down in there. Remember, we used that #1 and that thing rolled. So this is what I was talking about. So now with a 0.05 trim rate, it makes it a lot easier to trim your aircraft out. There you are, folks. We are airborne. I know this was sort of a real high level, but I wanted to show it all in action. A couple of different things you guys got to learn. B events, the step option, and how to use SimConnect, the difference between K events and AVARs. I hope this has helped you guys. I hope you guys found this video useful. Again, you guys can pick up Hangar Control at overkillsimulations.com. We have a free 5-day trial that comes with the software, and I hope you guys consider giving it a shot. As always, folks, stay safe and healthy, and I shall see you all in the next one.